Hey guys, welcome to Electronic Dance Money, your number one business resource for making money as electronic musicians and producers. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Electronic Dance Money. I am your host, Christian Casito. As always, we're going to be hanging out today talking about maintaining relationships that you're building in the industry and kind of trying to establish. And this is something we've talked about in the past, how you need to be, nurturing your relationships constantly. But we haven't really discussed, one, why that's important. And two, well, we have kind of discussed why that's important, but we'll go into that a little bit more. But then not just that, but like how to actually go about maintaining relationships. Like, what are some of the best strategies that you can be doing and applying today that are going to ultimately help you out the most? So those are the things we're going to be jumping in today. It's going to be similar to last week's episode, or I should say a couple weeks ago. But the last episode 56, it's going to be similar in the sense that this is probably going to be a real quick, short episode. Nothing too long, too crazy. Not like that 3-part series that we just did. So we're just getting some quick information out. And this is, some of the things that we've been discussing lately have been a lot of going back in the archives and providing some additional detailed information for you to start applying some of the things that we've discussed in the past. Like today, we're talking about maintaining a relationship, how to do that. And we're not talking about, a love relationship. We're talking about relationships within the industry, your network, or even potentially your clients. If you have any clients, how you can nurture and maintain those. So they're all some of the most important things that you really need to do to make sure you're top of mind and to make sure that you're growing through the industry. And essentially, people want you to be included on big projects when they have them, or can call to you for help when they need it. Again, that's all about staying top of mind. We want people to remember our names when something comes up, and we are applicable to whatever that situation is. So if you're a mixing and mastering engineer and a producer needs mixing and mastering when they finish a song, they should remember your name and go to you for that type of service. And this is really what it's all about. This is why you want to maintain relationships. This is why you nurture them. This is why you want them to grow, because you want to stay top of mind. Remember, always stay top of mind with whoever it is within your network that you're wanting to stay top of mind with. You're going to meet people as you grow who can be very useful allies that can help you out a ton. And there's really only one way to be able to utilize that person and get help from them or help them. And that's to make sure that the relationship stays intact. You build a friendship with someone. Now, obviously, sometimes you're going to get in situations where you have to kiss someone's ass. That happens. Quite frequently, people that you don't necessarily care to have a relationship with. And really that comes down when you get in those situations, you really have to make a choice of whether or not you want to sacrifice some of your principles for interacting with certain people. And, that comes down to a real legitimate moral issue. And I'm not saying you should do it at all. I don't think you should. I don't think you should give up your, some of your core principles of who you are and your beliefs in order to try to get something that you want. That's not very genuine, and I don't think that sells well. And I don't think that's a way to present yourself, especially to others. Others that are genuine and can kind of see through that sort of stuff. I, for one, am someone who does not like giving up my principles for kissing someone's ass. I just don't like that. If there's someone I really like that I want to work with, that I can help and that could help me, that's a relationship worth going for. Remember, we want to set up as many win-win situations as much as possible. Honestly, we want to get win-win-win situations as much as possible. That's when every single party involved in whatever it is that you're doing is happy. Everyone's getting something out of it. Those are the best scenarios possible. So, what's going to be number one in terms of nurturing and maintaining these relationships? Number one is the easiest damn thing that you could possibly do, which is just show up. And this can be either online or offline. Whatever it is, you just need to show up. Show up wherever the hell it is. You know, if there's people playing shows that you want to go, if there's people that are going to be at shows that you want to get introduced to or network with, show up. And not just once, but consistently. You know, there needs to be some facial recognition, legitimately. Like, people need to recognize your face. They need to see your face consistently. You need to shake their hand multiple times until they go, oh yeah, I remember you. Now you're starting to really build a relationship. And if you can't show up in person, then you need to show up online. We've talked a bunch about this sort of thing, about how to network online. I'm pretty sure I did an entire episode on this, or it was part of an episode. There's been so many damn episodes now that it's hard to keep track of all of them. But I know we've talked about how to, nurture those relationships online, or, when COVID happened, it was the best time for artists to be networking online and how to go about that. And that's just, instead of facial recognition, they need to recognize your name. They need to associate your name with good content or good comments, whatever it is, making engaging conversations with their posts. And then you can start actually DMing them and building more of a relationship until you can take it offline, whether that be at a show, at lunch, at a meetup, whatever the hell it is. It doesn't really matter. But showing up is like 90% of the effort. And showing up in person is honestly the best thing possible. Now, there's one really awesome strategy that I found for myself has helped me out significantly more than anything else that I've done in terms of networking or trying to meet people. And what you want to do is you want to find yourself a connector, someone from the Go-Giver that we've talked about a million times. At the end of at the beginning of the book, there's this character called the Connector, and it's this mystery person that not everyone knows who they are, but they connect people with the main protagonist of the story, or the guide for the hero of the story. And the Connector essentially helps build people. They get them connected with people who they need to be connected with. They're a connector. They know people. They have a network. And so at the end of the book, it's revealed that the connector of the story is the one of the guys that this guy works with. And he didn't know it until the end. And connectors are very, 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 very valuable. I can't stress enough how much value a connector has. Because a connector has the network, or at least they know the people that can get you into the network. And my buddy Paxton with Fogo Media, you guys should check him out. He's incredible. He does insane photography, and he's mostly a videographer, and we're working on a project at the moment, but he does wild videography here in Austin for artists and for venues. I mean, some of the stuff he does is just incredible. Check him out, Fogo Media. And he shoots all the shows here. He knows all of the local artists, big and small. He knows all of the promoters. He knows most of the venue owners. He knows so many damn people. And I've known him, funny enough, since Alex, who was on episode 5 or 6? I think it was episode 5, maybe, when we were talking about record labels. Alex with Storytime, though, was playing a show here in Austin, and we got together before and hung out before, during the show, and after. And he hit up Paxton here in town just on Facebook, I think. Maybe it was like in a group. I can't remember. Just looking for a photographer, found him, and we all met up before the show. And this is the first time I was introduced to Paxton. And he was pretty new in Austin. And so we had a great time. And I saw the work that Paxton did. It was incredible. I think my Facebook picture is still a picture of Alex and me. And that was a picture that Paxton took of us. It's a great photo. And ever since then, we've been good friends. We've been really, really good friends. We talk all the time. COVID happened. So that was right before COVID. That was like end of January 2020. And we were talking a bunch, and he was trying to get everything moved out here because he's from New York. And when shows started opening again, he started shooting all the shows and met a bunch of people. And then it was just within the past couple of months that we started getting back together in person, hanging out. And he's like, yeah, man, you should start coming to shows with me. And so I start going to shows with him. And I mean, we're getting backstage and he's introducing me to everyone. And it's crazy because now I've got more leads. I've got more connections and networking. I've got more connections for different things. But again, I'm not working on trying to do anything. I'm just working on getting my face recognized at all these places, people remembering me, and they slowly are. But here's the thing. I'm not just wanting to be introduced to anyone. I want to get introduced to everyone at the venue too. Anyone who knows that works bar, the audio guys, the light guys. I want to be introduced to everyone. And the reason why you want to be introduced to everyone and you want to remember these people's names, engage in conversations with them, is so that, like we've talked about previously, if you're a DJ and you want to play a show, you don't go asking the promoter for a show. You build relationships with everyone around the promoter so that they talk about you to the promoter and then they're more interested in you. It's kind of the same thing, but for my case, I want everyone to know me and like me so that they'll let me just come to shows. Me being there won't be weird, or trying to get into a show, it won't be like, we can't do that. They'll know me, they'll like me, and they'll be okay with me coming in hanging out. This is the same for the managers there. And when it comes time, if I want to ask for a favor or I see somewhere where I can help them out, I want to help them out however the hell I can so that I can build that relationship more. But it all starts with just showing up and getting your face recognized at those places. You got to do that. And if you can find yourself a connector like Paxton, who is already involved in that, and you can go to these shows with them, that is even better. It makes the process so much easier rather than you just trying to introduce yourself to random people, which is tough, but people have done it. You can do it. It's possible. But if you can find a connector, if you have a friend or know someone relatively involved, whether they are a photographer or a videographer or they're just the audio guy there, it doesn't matter who it is. Ask if you can start going with them to shows and they can start introducing you to people. It's by far one of the most important things that you can start doing and that you need to start doing in order to maintain those relationships. And once you've started doing that stuff, it becomes so much easier to nurture the relationships because you've established a legitimate relationship. The second thing you want to start doing after this is going to be supporting these people. Now, when you're talking about like the audio guy or the light guy, that's, you don't necessarily need to be supporting those people. And if they have a band that's playing a show and maybe they want you to come, sure, go support them. That definitely gives you some extra brownie points. But the people you really want to focus on is whoever it is that, knows someone or has some sort of thing that you want or need or would like. So if you're wanting to DJ a show and you want to get connected with a promoter, then start supporting them or supporting the DJs that are on those lineups. Like, support people, show up to their shows, show up to things that they're doing if they invite you to places, or if you just need to support them in some way, whether that be online or offline. Just support them. This is like the last 10% of if showing up is 90%, the last 10% is going to be supporting, because it shows that you actually give a shit, and you should give a shit. Okay. Like, you shouldn't, again, going back to your principles and morals as a person, you don't want to be fake and disingenuous and just falsely support someone to try to just get something. That's shitty. Support someone if you actually like the things that they do. If you don't like the things that they do, then you probably don't really want to be involved in that relationship. So there's no point in maintaining it. There's no point in moving forward. We all want to work with the people that we enjoy working with. Now, that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes you're going to get wrapped up in shit that you're like, I didn't expect this. This was not what I intended, or this just wasn't what my expectations were. That will happen. That can be fixed. That's not that big of a deal. But we all want to work with people that we want to be involved with, that we enjoy hanging out with, that we enjoy having conversations with. Someone that's genuine to us so that we can be genuine to them and they accept us and like us for that. We've talked a million times about what that means to support people and why you need to support them. It's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious. You want support. Why should someone else support you? Answer that simple fucking question and you'll get the gist of what it means to support someone. If you want support, go support other people, because then they'll support you. Put 1 and 2 together. It's really simple math. It's not rocket science at all. And the third thing going into this, and really the last one, these are really quick and easy steps. Maintaining relationships is not as hard as you may think. When you start growing your network and you have a laundry list of people, it becomes a lot to juggle, because now there's a lot of people, and you're going to have, especially artists, you're going to have, you may have friends that are, or people that you're networking with that are both playing a show on the same night at the same time at different venues. And now you kind of got to choose. And so before we actually get into number 3, I'll put a little asterisk here so that we can make sure to include this. When you say you're going to do something, when you give someone your fucking word, stay true to that word. And part of this has to do with maintaining a good calendar, a balanced calendar, where the things that are going on. You can look at your schedule. If someone's like, hey, I'm playing a show this day, can you come? I'll put you on the guest list. Do not just say yes, yes, yes. Be like, hang on, let me check my schedule. Okay, no, I don't have anything going on. I can go. Or, you know what, someone else invited me to something. I got to go to that, but I'll go to the next one. But you got to maintain a schedule. Make sure you put shit in so that you know what's going on that next weekend. This has happened to me, and it fucking sucks, because now I got to go, oh, shit, you know what? I actually already made plans. I can't come. So you got to be really fucking careful when you're giving people your word, and stay true to your fucking word, man. Don't back out on it. You're going to look sketchy. You're going to look unreliable, and you don't want that, especially when we're really getting introduced to people. Now going into number 3, the last part of this, of maintaining relationships, is following up with shit. And this goes right at hand with clients. You cannot expect clients to always remember to send you stuff or remember you. That's your hope. Hopefully you've made that impression and you've kind of put it in their head, but they won't remember you unless you follow up with them. So, if you have clients that you're trying to get more work from, you got to follow up with them occasionally. And you got to follow up with the other people too. When you're supporting them and you're showing up, again, your list of people is going to get big. Eventually you're going to find 1 or 2, maybe 3 people that you're like, you know what, I want to really focus on these ones and nurture this relationship. Maybe you have a project you want to do with one of them. And so that's where a lot of your energy is going to be. But there are still other valuable people that you want involved in your career or your life that bring value to you, whether it be through just a friendship or they actually have something within the industry that you go, you know what, that will be valuable at some point. You don't want to drop that person and then 3 years later you go, shit, you know what? I actually need to reach out to them. They have something that I need help with. And they barely remember who you are. They go, oh yeah, you fell off the face of the earth. Or you were ignoring their messages or whatever the hell it is. So follow up with those damn people. Occasionally follow up. Reach out and see how they're doing. See what they're working on and, maintain a relationship. Send a message just once a fucking month to see how they're doing. A quick follow-up. See what's going on. And that may give you more of a chance to support them if you can, if there's anything else that you could do. It's really simple stuff here, but you gotta fucking nail it. You gotta make sure you know how to maintain and nurture these relationships, because it's one of the most fucking important things you could ever do. You already know how important networking is. If you don't know how important networking is, go back to the networking episodes and listen to them. And I explain how important networking is. But those of you who have listened to the show consistently know how important networking is, and maintaining and nurturing relationships are all involved in that network. So be sure that you're staying on top of this, you're nurturing these relationships, you're maintaining them, and trust me, life is going to be so much easier when you're really needing to get shit done and you know people. That's it for today's episode, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Head to enviousaudio.com/episode 57 to check out all the show notes. I'll put those episodes, the networking episodes, in there as well. But other than that, we're going to get some more guests in here, guys, so stay tuned, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Take care.